Hey, what's up? In this video, I want to talk about patience and using it to win. Now, before I begin, down below there's a link in the description. If you click on it, there's training on what I truly believe to be the most important skill to learn when it comes to marketing a service, product, or idea online. Okay. Now, patience is one of the things I've been actually thinking about lately, a lot lately actually, and one person who I really admire and respect, who's a digital marketer, is Gary Vee. And I think he hits that nail, bam, right on the head when he talks about what's micro speed and macro patience. In the short term, you want to be not patient. You want to be working, hustling, blah, 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 blah. But in the long term, you want to be patient. And most people, he says, are on one extreme or the other, which I agree with, a lot of ways. We all struggle with patience, myself included. And one of the things that really hurts us, I believe, is worrying about what others think, our peers, and keeping up with the Joneses. And if you start like a business, for example, I'll just throw that as an example. Your ego really is going to be tied into that business. Uh, Plus, some people that they're just not going to want to see you succeed in some ways, or some people think it's a dumb idea, right? um, and one of the reasons I'm thinking that a lot of people do give up is their ego is attached to it. For example, I had a friend of mine who was in the San Francisco Bay Area, and he was in the mortgage business, which is a very competitive business. And he went back to school, and I was asking him, why did you quit, blah blah blah. And he finally said, well, I think it was just due to I just couldn't take the rejection. And rejection is one of those things that we all have a kind of difficult time dealing with. It's a tough thing for our egos. And what I've been thinking about is the reality is you have to really respect and admire the thing that rejects you to have it feel like rejection. Okay, I'll give you an example of this. I was with this girl I really admired and respected, and she finally was like, okay, she ended things with me, and it kind of hurt because I was like, wow, I really liked her and everything like that. So it's pretty interesting. Uh, with business, once you realize it's just a numbers game, even in dating too, it's much easier to well, to me, I got kind of excited because I realized, well, I would have to talk to so many girls or I have to talk to so many people before I got someone interested. So the quicker you go through the no's, the faster you get to the yeses. Um, I always thought. So really, one of the best ways to learn how to deal with patience is not having your ego attached to every little outcome, and learning to deal with rejection and like these little minor failures. They're not rejecting you personally. And another way to look at it is to think more long term rather than the short term. And if you can figure out the math, like in sales, like I remember I used to do phone sales and the maths pretty much sucked. I would have to call 100 people to get one or two people to this presentation we were doing. Still you get excited like, oh God, I knew that I had to get rejected 98 times or 99 times before I got that one person interested. Then you could just go through the math, the numbers, rather than taking every no, oh man, it sucks. Uh, and another thing too is sticking to your niche and learning everything you can about it. And one way to learn is by doing things that don't work, right? That's why the micro failures, these little failures are they can use to your advantage. And thinking about the macro success, the macro long term of what you're doing. And another example of this is Facebook. I've lost a lot of different Facebook accounts through experimenting. One was I was adding friends, and you get that message, oh, we only recommend you sending friend requests to people you know, and then after you do that a couple more times, they go boom, shut down. They think you're a bot, a robot, or something. Um, and another one is messaging people. I was experimenting with people in my niche, going, "Hey, I see we're both in the same niche, man," and they didn't like that either. So I kind of learned that that doesn't really work in Facebook. Now, instead of going, "Oh, I hate Facebook," and getting your ego attached to it, you figure out what works so you can play on that platform. Charlie Munger is a guy who I think he's Warren Buffett's like right hand man, his business partner, and he's a big believer in inversion. Inversion means figuring out what doesn't work so you know what does work. Kind of like burning the haystack to find the needle, and it makes a lot of sense, in a lot of ways. So a lot of this is quitting patience. I think some of it is ego driven. Uh, Same thing with YouTube, right? I've definitely gotten some nasty, horrible comments. One guy told me I should wipe my face, and ugly dude, your nose is screwed up. That's some weird ass stuff. Now instead of taking that so personal, be like, oh, hey, this sucks, man. Everybody's making fun of me. You just gotta know that comes with the territory. There's gonna be trolls. And especially when you start coming up and you start becoming successful, people want to take shots at you, um, because how do you build the biggest building in town? You could either build it or you could tear other people's building down. And obviously, there's gonna be people who want to tear your building down. That's just the way the world is. So you have to know that going into it. Another idea too is not to have such huge expectations of people. Obviously, if you give to people and they don't give back, they screw you over. Then it's just information. It's data. You know that going forward in the future, well, that person's probably just going to screw you over. So move forward with that. Uh, so eh, Obviously, this stuff's more said than it's easier said than done. But that's just something I've been kind of thinking about. What do you think, huh? What do you think is the biggest hurdle to having patience? Is it your ego? You want to see success quickly, or that, or what are some reasons why people quit and why people don't have patience? Uh, Anyways, let me know in the comments below. If you are interested in marketing online, internet sales, digital marketing, drop shipping, one of the biggest hurdles that I've experienced is it doesn't matter how many views you get or traffic you get if you don't know what you're doing with that traffic. If you can't convert that traffic into a sale, that's what everything comes down to. Uh, at the end of at the end of the day, success is the money. Really, that's what you're into business for. If it's a business, you need it to be profitable. And that skill set, I thought I could just teach myself. And I got a shitload of traffic, but I just couldn't convert it. I converted some, but not nearly that much, and I really kind of struggled. And so what I'm trying to say is if you're going to go into digital marketing, learn that skill set, okay? It's not easy. It's kind of like when you do phone sales, like with one person well, Jordan Belfort, they made that movie Wolf of Wall Street. He has a whole system on closing the phone over the phone and in person. It's really, really good. So online, it's a different system, okay? And learning that system is so helpful. And the reality is, a lot of work takes place after that first sale, and learning that will be hugely valuable. That's the first thing I would learn and figure out before I went and found the product or traffic or learn about social media or anything like that. Okay, but if you want to learn that skill, then click that link below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. You can also share it. And yeah, I wish you the best. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.